Right now you listening to
Innovative Black Station.
Innovative Black Station. Innovative Black Station.
The place where you can speak your
Mind.
Your mind.
Your mind.
So again, $10 a month, that's nothing. I mean, people spend $20 a month at Planet Fitness and don't even go to the gym.
Right. So, is it a thing? How long is the class?
Class is only 2 hours.
Now that's a lot of information. Is it something where you kind of build on it each month, or do you do?
Well, it's a general. The live seminar is a general presentation.
Mm-hmm.
We do touch on some topics, but again, you're getting handouts and stuff left over, and then you can always reach out to me. I'm always accessible for anybody that wants to sit down and do any one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
I'm always good for that. So the class is really geared towards starting a conversation and getting people to realize that finances is not this tough thing. It's not something where you have to go to school for statistics or accounting or or finances. You don't. You can really learn it. Just like we learn how to operate social media. That was new to us at one point in time, but now we masters of it. Right. So you can be a master of your own personal finance if you just take the steps necessary to do it. So that's what it's for.
Why do you feel, speaking of like not, being, learning how to be financially or to being financially literate, people love to get money. Why don't you feel people want to educate themselves on how to control their money?
It never was something that was put in our database to do, right? You think of when we grew up, all it was, get money, spend it. Get money, spend it. You look at what you did for holidays. You got money for the holidays, you spent it. You ain't save it. How many of us went to the bank with our parents and they taught us how to deposit a check or deposit money or withdraw money, right? We just know how to spend it. And, as we get older, it just continues to be that snowball effect where you really don't think of it as being important. How many classes financially did you have in high school? How many did you have in college? Right? That's not mandatory, but we have to learn about the Pythagorean theorem. But we don't know how to write a check. Exactly. I literally have 60-year-olds don't know the difference between a routing number and account number on their check. And they have kids.
That's crazy.
So if they don't know it, what's the chances of their kids not knowing it? So.
And I kind of went through that when I went back to school, because I got to take an accounting and all that in college. But this was in my master's degree. They telling us they teaching me all the different keys of being the financial success. And I'm like, why don't they teach this throughout the kindergarten on up? Like, because these is necessity. These is tools that you really need to survive.
This is really tools you need. So what I'm actually doing is creating a 5-day program for high school students. It's gonna be geared towards everything that we had to learn the hard way. We're gonna teach them early, because they need it. They need it in the worst way.
Yeah, they do.
Because they get exposed to so many things on social media that we weren't exposed to when we were in high school, because social media wasn't that big of a thing. So to be able to teach them how to handle growing up in this society and maintaining that level of education and thirst for it, a lot of people just don't like learning, right?
Right, true.
So if I don't have to learn it and I can still live the life comfortably,
true.
I'm not gonna learn it. But for high school kids, I think they really want to learn. I was just at a conference yesterday, teaching about finances I think the youngest was a 7th grader, and the oldest was a senior, and they all wanted to learn more about how to save and what I should do for college and things like that. So they want it. We just have to provide it for them. It's up to us. So I take that responsibility full-fledged.
Right, and I definitely I can say I can vouch for you, because I see you do, like, every Monday you do the Money Monday series.
Right.
How did that come about? And I know, what was the last one you were talking about? You said something about, is it about success versus, I forgot what the last one was about, but you be hitting key points. It ain't really just about money, it's about the mindset too.
Right.
What made you start that?
Sure. So what happened, I was looking at how I can really gain credibility and get this information out. Like I said, I had all of this information from 6 years ago up until now. I wanted to get it out. And I saw a lot of people, this was last year, in 2015, people kept hashtagging no tax money. Like they were making purchases and hashtagging they ain't spend their taxes on it. And it kind of like frustrated me. So I just went on like a Kanye West rant, you know, random video on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I was just frustrated. I'm like, you know, we got to even learn. We need to even learn how taxes even works.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I was ranting, and I was like, you know what? Every Monday I'm gonna do a video because y'all need to learn this stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So I set myself up, but
Yeah.
it was something that was needed. So, like I said, year and a half later, I'm still doing them. And to touch on your point, what you said the last Money Mondays video, I was talking about the mindset we can gain from our entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at a Meek Mill, and people think he lost the battle with Drake, which that's when you talk about rap. And when you talk about his actual brand, right? He has about 3 streams of income that he can touch, right?
Mm-hmm.
He got the music, that's the residual income.
Mm-hmm.
He makes a mixtape or a single. He can put it on iTunes. He only made that song one time,
Mm-hmm.
so people gonna keep buying it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one stream. Then you have his second stream, which is actually going to shows, right? Paying however much, 50,000, however much he charged now. I wouldn't pay him, but that's me.
Yeah.
But that's another stream. That's the earned income. That's that right now business income that he can make. Then he also has merchandise, Dream Chasers, right? He got the shirts, the hats.
Mm-hmm.
So he has merchandise. So he has 3 streams of income he can tap into.
Mm-hmm.
And not only him, look at 2 Chainz. He had the Dab and Santas,
Right. Yeah.
But then he got the music, and then he can charge then he can charge for features.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
so I was talking about, you know, we focus on a very small spect of what they do, and we try to dress like them and act like them. But if you're gonna act like them in a business sense. Don't act like them just to, like, you know, talk how they talk and walk how they walk and dress how they dress. No, be out here making moves.
Right.
You know,
Right.
generate whatever expertise you great at, because we're all great. You just got to tap into it and figure out how you can start maneuvering just like they do. That's how I do. I love watching their interviews because I like to see what moves they're making outside of just making records.
Right,
So
right.
that's what that was geared towards.
Yeah. Now you spoke on you were just talking about Meek and 2 Chainz with multiple streams of income. You know, they usually say a millionaire has 7 streams of income. As a financial coach, would you say that's true? Seven is necessary to become a millionaire?
I want to say 7 is necessary. I believe just having multiple streams of income, period. I say at least 3. But as you grow, see, the thing about, you know, these millionaires didn't start off with 7.
Right.
They just eventually got the
the
7.
right.
But you can't get the 7 if you don't have 1. So you start with 1, you build on that. Once that's sustainable, you know, whether it's that job, then you figure out how can I make another one. And to clarify, 2 jobs aren't that isn't 2 streams. That's one stream of income.
Yeah.
people
I
think
gotta work
that's
7 jobs. I got
yeah,
7 streams.
No, that's not. That is the same stream of income. And if you stop working, you stop getting that stream.
Right.
So to be able to generate some residual income, right? So, you know, if you want to buy some property and rent it out, and I ain't meaning just a house or an apartment building, even a lot. You know, it's people that rent lots for events in the city all the time. You know, you look at you know, writing a book. For some people, they got a book in them, and you know, you can be smart and digitize it, put it on Kindle. And that way you ain't got to worry about getting it hard published and got to worry about shipping it.
Right.
You make it digital. That's residual income. You wrote that book one time, and you can get residual income off of it. So finding things like that, partnering with people and supporting others, right? Maybe you want to invest in somebody else's brand and help them out and be, you know, their marketing director, or, you know, somebody that does their social media. You know, there's people that wish they can grow their social media, but just don't have the time. And some of us have time, and we can, look, I'll share it, what you need me to share every day. I'll do it for you for X amount of dollars. We can make those moves, right? And people are willing to pay that because these big companies have it. I mean, social media marketing is a major now in college.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So it's so many ways we can make money. It's just about tapping into what you're gonna be passionate about. If you're not passionate about it, you're gonna treat it like a job and not, you know, your hustle. So you just gotta be smart about it.
Right. Now, you know, on the way of creating those different streams, what is your advice with saving? You know, some people they they try to save their way to the top. Some people don't save at all. What's your advice with that?
You gotta have a savings.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, just because we forget that things can happen outside of our control, right? You ever see somebody that got a real nice car, nice rims, and they got a donut on it? And you're like, how they got all that? Like, that car too nice to just have that donut on it.
Saved.
They ain't saved.
Right.
So you have to realize that things are gonna happen. So to save, I mean, you have to save a big chunk all the time. You know, people think of saving as you gotta have all this money. You can save $25 a month starting off. And once you get so used to that it doesn't affect you, then you can start increasing. And also, one of the videos that I did was the best way to save $5,000 this year. Best way to save $5,000 is to make an extra $5,000. So if you increase your income, you can increase your saving as well. And that's something that we really teach, is figuring out a way to cut your costs. You can also, another way of saving money is to cut your expenses, right? You know, some people that have cable, you just get Netflix or get Hulu or get Amazon Fire TV. You know, where it's a yearly subscription, not that monthly, you know, $80 a month.
Right.
You cut that, you can save $80 a month. That's good. A lot of people don't save $25 a month, let alone $80. So doing that, making sure you're investing as well. If you work full time, you should have a retirement plan, because we ain't gonna be young forever. So you want to make sure that you can retire comfortably, and you ain't at Walmart being a greeter, because you gotta pay some bills.
Right.
So just those small things. But saving is important. For those who aren't saving, you should be saving. Whatever that amount is up to you. Whatever you're comfortable with. But it should always grow and grow and grow every year. You know, I try to, and especially for your kids. If you have a child, you know when they turn 18, chances are they're either gonna want to leave the house or go to college. So we should have savings and things set up for them as well.
Okay.
So that I'm a big advocate for savings.
Now, are you how do you feel about stocks? Investing in stocks, is that something that you would recommend?
If you're willing to risk it, you know, any investment, it's all about how risky you want it to be. You know, the higher the risk, the higher the return. So it's just all about what you feel. I mean, a lot of people, me personally, I don't invest in like specific stocks, but I do have an investment account. It's an index fund. Okay. So instead of me picking the certain stocks, the index fund does it.
Is that the same as index and mutual? They're the same thing?
They're similar.
Okay.
Index funds generally have lower fees.
Okay.
And they also, they're easier to allocate your assets, so you can control it every year to where stuff goes.
Okay. Some
mutual funds you can't do that. It's just set in stone from what I've been experienced with. So they're generally the same. But again, some people would like a mutual fund because it's safer, right? Some people want to, I want to start looking at stocks. People trade. Some people like looking at trading. There's a lot of forex trading going on. Foreign exchange. That's what it's short for. And people are making good money off of it, trading, daily and stuff. So if that's what you want to do, again, you can start it part-time while you got your full-time job. You ain't got to go all in and then you lose everything. No, just be smart about it. But you should be investing. Money is going to make money faster than the human can make money. Because we only got 24 hours in a day, and I can't work it all.
Right. True. That's definitely true. That's
so
definitely true.
Money can work 24 hours a day, and it does. Right? It's that tool. So
okay.
Man.
Yeah. Now, is there any books you read or that you suggest for people to check out?
Sure. So I actually have a list of books that I hand out at the seminars. A few of them. One is called Money, Master the Game by Tony Robbins. He created this book. If you don't know who Tony Robbins is, he's actually he's actually the number one speaker in the world right now. And he, in one day, made, I want to say it was $100 million.
In one day?
In one day, made $100 million. And was still working, right? So like I said, you get success, that ain't over. That ain't the end.
Right.
So he has a book called Money, Master the Game in 7 steps. It's a longer read, but it gives you a better understanding of how money works. Another one is if you have kids. This is if you have kids, or if you plan on having kids. It's called Debt-Free College. We Did It. And it's a book. Actually, it's a family from Cincinnati that took five kids through college debt-free. And they shared a story on each individual kid and what they did with that kid. You know, some of them went to UC, some went to CCU. So they just talked about how they did it. Another book is it's called Getting Organized.
Okay.
See, a lot of people, you know, think it's just all these money books, but it's Getting Organized is a book where if you're not an organized person, then it's hard to really start being able to have these different streams of income. You have to be organized. You have to have proper time management. You can't just get up at the last minute every day and think you're going to be out here grinding. No, it don't work like that.
Right.
I get up at 6 in the morning. I ain't got to be out the house till 9, sometimes 10:30.
Right.
So, you know, Getting Organized is a good book. It talks about things from, you know, things you can do in 15-minute blocks to how your money should be organized and whether you know, single or married. It talks about a lot of things. So those are a few books. It's another one called Nine Things Successful People Do. And that's pretty good too. And you know, your habits usually show up in your finances, right? So it go hand in hand. Right. So, you know, nobody is very special. You know, the rich aren't more special than us. They just did certain things. So if we mimic what they do, their daily habits, you know, what does Oprah do every day? Warren Buffett reads the first 7 hours of the day, right? He the 4th richest man in the world.
Right.
So if you can, you know, you can't read 7 hours. You got to work. But something. Read something every single day. That's all. That's all it is.
Now, do you have, because you say, you know, kind of study what those rich people do. Do you have any, like, mentors that you study?
I just study greatness. I do have, like, brothers that I turn to that are successful and have been in my corner, you know, help me, you know, generate and cultivate ideas. But I feel like I just get energy from everybody, you know, people like you that's out here building with, you know, your brand and you're doing it the way you want to do it and you doing it in a positive manner. That gives me energy, and I'm studying and looking like, hey, he's using this. He's doing that. So I think as a whole, you know, I'm not just looking at people that are millionaires, but I'm looking at people that have a great influence on other people. Influence is something that you can teach, but everybody ain't going to want to do it, right? So, you know, I look at Cincinnati, you know, I love our city. And I get energy off of the entertainers, the people that's out here building and grinding, you know, like a Black Owned, or, you know, the Young and Famous, or, you know, the rappers like Young Butter, Adrian Bronner. Like, I love my city so much that I want them to win, because when they win, I win, right? And I'm a support any type of way I can, you know. So that's where I get my inspiration from, and I study them and I see what they doing, and I'm like, you know, not only how can I help, but how can I make it make sense for me to do certain things the right way? How consistent am I with, you know, am I making sure I'm doing Money Mondays, or making sure I'm just being more valuable in the seminars and not giving people stuff that I think you should know, but what you really want to know. So things like that.
Okay. Well, Abundance University is this upcoming Wednesday, April 20th.
Yep, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at North College Hill High School. That's my alma mater, so I do a lot of things there. I'm still heavily involved in it. And I advise actually anybody, if you graduated from a high school, you should invest back into that high school, because the kids need it. This next generation, they're thirsty for knowledge, and of course the teachers can't give them the knowledge that they all need, just because, you know, how our education system is set up. But to be there for free, giving away my free time, they cherish that. So, you know, go back. But yeah, it'll be there 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Free event. You know, bring your spouse. If you got kids and they well-mannered, bring them too. We don't want to have too many distractions, but that's where it's at.
And where can they follow you at to stay updated? You know?
Sure. So on Facebook, Abundance University. I got Abundance University page. On Instagram, Abundance University. Myself, LawrenceCainJr.com. I'm also on Facebook, Lawrence Cain. On Instagram, Lawrence Cain Jr. I'm also on Periscope, Lawrence Cain Jr. So you can follow me at any of those. Inbox me, reach out to me. I'm always available.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Lawrence Cain, Innovative Black Station.
GBC basically is a motivational movement, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they sit back and they let a lot of opportunities just pass them. GBC, you actually get that cash and make it happen for yourself.
Now, you say you started back in 2004. What? It's 2016.